with the show.
Okay.
Okay. We've got Ann Scheetz here. And Scheetz, you went to school together, you two?
We did.
We did at the fabulous Mundelein College, which got swallowed up by
And
Loyola.
Ann is joined with Sonia and Jose. I don't get everyone's last name.
Sonia Ordóñez.
And Jose Aparicio.
And Jose and Sonia, you are active in Unite Here.
Yes, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can move right up to that. Very close.
Okay.
Sonia Ordóñez, what is Unite Here? Describe what that organization is and does. ¿Puedes?
Unite Here is the one organization de
De trabajadores.
the co-worker. They're looking for more better job in the work in the job.
Better situations on
Better
job
job.
front. I didn't give you much preparation to pull you in like that. Jose, you and Sonia, do you have separate workplaces, or do you work in different places and then come and work together and Unite Here?
Well, actually, we work in the same hotel. We work in the same hotel, just a different restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been active with Unite Here?
Well, I've been part of the union for the last 30 years. Active, I will say, for a couple years.
And so Unite Here is a union?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
But it is all different classifications of workers.
That's correct. Yes.
It's hotel workers, restaurant
Hotel,
workers.
restaurant.
That's a hotel and restaurant workers.
And Unite is currently
service.
Food service. And Unite is currently involved in a strike with Hyatt.
That's correct. Yes.
Well, not exactly a strike.
It's a work action. Is that what you would call it or not? Go ahead, Ann.
Why don't you tell about the boycott, Jose?
Well, what we try to do, is we're looking for people to support us, in this fight, and to, like I say, to support all the Hyatt employees, so we can have a better contract. That's what we're asking for better contract, so we can have our job secure,
And one of the ways that the union is working on that is to ask people to boycott Hyatt hotels because of the way Hyatt abuses its workers. And one of the reasons that I got involved as a physician, as a community ally through the Singlepayer organizations, is because Hyatt threatened the workers with discontinuing their health insurance if the workers didn't meet Hyatt's conditions. And I think this was a big shock to all kinds of healthcare workers. Talking to some of the employees, I heard stories like, how am I going to pay for my blood pressure medicine if I don't have health insurance? How is my son going to get his surgery? Just the shock of that brought a lot of community allies into working with the union to support them. And because Hyatt Hotels is abusive to workers all across the country, unionized and non-unionized, the goal is to have organizations not stay at Hyatt Hotels. That includes physicians and physicians' organizations.
Sonia, how long have you been working with Hyatt?
I've been working for 6 years.
And in what capacity? In what job?
I am working in the kitchen.
We certainly respect anybody who works in a kitchen. That's where the goodness comes from. And what is your experience? Well, I should ask, what has been your negative experience at the hands of Hyatt, particularly?
Yeah, my bad experience is when they put the big menu and put a lot of work, and they put only 2 co-workers.
So they expanded the menu and didn't give you expanded workforce to create.
Yes, and when I when I get a lot of job, I don't have no time for use the washroom. No have the time for take my break. And sometimes the manager he's mad when I say I go to take my break because he don't want to bring somebody
Take your job.
when I go my break.
Let me ask either Jose or Ann or Sonia, what is the status of the boycott with Hyatt these days? You know, I remember there were people marching downtown in front of the Hyatt Hotel. What is there negotiations? Is Hyatt coming to the table to talk? Is anything improved, or is it something that's moving in the other direction where more workers are kind of seeing they're not getting anywhere and are joining the union or getting involved?
Well, yes, there is a lot of negotiation. So far, we've been, the negotiation for the last, I would say, 2 years. They're going to 3 years already. And there's a lot of negotiation, but so far, the Hyatt didn't agree, to sign the right contract or the fair contract that we're asking for.
So what is your current action towards them? What are you doing in reaction to their recalcitrance, if I can use such a many-syllabled word? How are you fighting back?
Well, what we're doing is just, visit, call workers, try to make them understand, that we have to keep, together as a family and keep fighting until we get what we deserve, because I believe, we deserve a better contract. So that's the way we're fighting, to keep, all our co-workers and family members together and let them know, that we had to keep together so we can keep fighting until we get what we deserve. Because like I say, I worked for the Hyatt for 30 years, and I believe I deserve, a better contract. And
How long has Unite been involved with Hyatt? How long did they have a contract? Like, you've been there 30 years. Was there a union throughout that time?
Yes.
And let me ask you, because, these are difficult times for working people all over the world, and clearly we see how the big guys and girls up there and the big corporations take advantage and are squeezing the working people. You've been involved at Hyatt for 30 years, and you said that only in the last couple years did you get really involved in the activities. What led you to step up?
Well, like I said, this is the first time that we don't have a contract for the last 30 years. And like I said, the reason that I step out is because they were trying to take the health care out of our part of our benefits. And that's what make me, sad. I can say sad, upset, because it's very important for me to have my kids, with a health insurance, and also myself.
Yeah.
So again, like I say, to me, it doesn't look fair after I've been spending so many years for you, and now you don't try to, you try to take away the health care which I deserve. So.
Yeah. And is that what brought you involved? Your involvement to this, basically, the development of them trying to strip away the health care?
Yes, that's what got me immediately involved. Once I started talking to workers, of which I've done quite a bit, then I was also shocked by the way Hyatt treats its workers in other ways. So I'm a physician.
A few examples?
Yeah, I worked for many years as a primary care physician and took care of a lot of patients who suffered work-related injuries, and I could treat their symptoms but couldn't really do anything to stop that happening. And when I started talking to Hyatt workers, some of the things I learned, for instance, as Sonia said, not being given bathroom breaks, which we know is bad for the bladder and ultimately the kidneys. One of the things that really angered me the most was the fact that when Hyatt remodels their rooms, which they seem to do a lot of, they make it more difficult for the workers to clean the rooms instead of easier. So, for instance, one of the women I talked to showed me pictures of the new beds. I'm not up on fashion, but apparently it's now fashionable to have platform beds that are low to the floor. Well, it's one thing to have that in your home, but to have that in a hotel where a worker has to change the sheets on those mattresses 16 times a day. And the mattresses are heavy. And now you're having to lean over to get close to the floor. It's terrible on the back, on the shoulders, on the knees, crowding the rooms more so that people bump into things as they're trying to vacuum, and they have bumps and bruises on their legs. And it's very hard on the shoulders, having to put pillowcases, these big pillows into pillowcases, multiple times a day. There might be 5 or 6 pillows to a bed and 2 beds in a room.
It's very arduous work. Have you experienced working with and being an ally to other types of workers in the same way that you're doing now?
No, this is the first time I got involved. And one of the reasons I got involved with this union is because they really are fighting back, and they're really the workers are standing up for themselves, like Sonia and Jose being here today, taking their own time, taking their own time to go visit their fellow workers, taking time to go out and talk to community allies. I'm just really impressed with this union.
How can people help, and how would they contact Unite to get involved?
Do you want to answer that?
Well, people get involved and help us, like I say, supporting us in
boycotting.
Maybe. You want me to answer that? Okay. So as a community ally, I'll tell you that if you get in touch with me, I will put you in touch with the union organizers and with other allies. So ways that you can do that, I'll give you my email address. It's Scheetz without punctuation at Gmail. So ANNESCHEETZ@gmail.com. I'll talk to you about being an ally of the union. We're particularly working on doing that with medical organizations, but we'll talk to anyone. And the union does have volunteer positions, as I understand it.
Where's Unite Here's center of operation? Where's your office? Where's your hall?
That's in downtown. It's in Van Buren.
Where all the unions are. Van Buren and what about Ashland?
55 West Van Buren.
Oh, okay.
Is the main office.
So that's Unite Here, right?
Correct.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I want to ask a question. Can I, Michael?
Of course, Kate.
Sure.
You're the co-host.
Are other unions supporting your action? Otras uniones que están haciendo para ayudarles ustedes.
Otras uniones, the other union.
I know, I did that. I'm sorry. We're a bilingual show.
Yeah, they come with us and the boycott.
They march?
Yeah, the march outside. And they come with us and with us disobedient civil.
Say that again.
The disobedient civil, they come with us, the other union.
Which unions have been supportive?
The 451.
And is that SEIU?
No.
No.
Those 450 is a Unite Here union.
Okay, 450.
Sorry.
Anybody else? Any of the wonderful trades unions who have so much?
The industrial workers of the world?
I don't know myself which unions have officially supported them, and I don't want to use the names on the air because I don't know what their official positions are, but there certainly have been members of many unions who have been present at their marches and on the picket lines, a lot of people.
Now, there was some small victory recently, I think. You emailed me and to prepare me for this interview, and I'm here without that email. What was the victory that you just had recently? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, the victory that we got the last time is that actually we were, pushing the Hyatt Corporation so they can keep giving us the health insurance, and they agreed to give us the health insurance until the end of the year. So they were first treating us, saying that they will stop the health insurance until until the end of last month. So then agree now to keep giving us the health insurance until the end of the year. So
For all of 2012.
yeah, that's correct.
I want to. We only have a few minutes left, so I would. I've been thinking about healthcare a lot. There's been in the news with Obama around birth control, and I was going to ask Ann if you could tell us a little bit about You're actually a volunteer with the Illinois Singlepayer Coalition and Physicians for a National Healthcare Program. Could you tell us a little bit about those organizations? Maybe tell us why you think single payer is the way to go, and what's the status of healthcare for people in this country these days? So you got a few minutes to give us your stuff.
Getting healthcare for everybody is going to be a long, hard fight. It's the same fight that these workers are doing with Hyatt, which is to get what human beings need to be how we organize our society instead of organizing it around profits for major corporations such as Hyatt and the health insurance and pharmaceutical industries. So what we work for is for every single person in the country to have Medicare from birth to death, have it cover 100% of all necessary care with no financial obligation at the time you get services, so it's funded by a progressive tax. It would not be possible for Hyatt Corporation to hold lack of health care over its workers because everybody would have it automatically. So, and the moral basis of that is social solidarity, that we all take care of each other, we're all in this together, workers, business people, everybody. The economic basis is this is by far the simplest way to organize healthcare. It decreases administration the most, so it's actually possible to spend less money in this country than we now spend on healthcare to give everybody better benefits, to take care of public health so that workers are not subjected to the conditions that these workers are subjected to. We can do all of that and spend less money and have better outcomes.
Well, we kind of lost the battle there with in the Obamacare.
No, we
debate.
We didn't lose the battle. We know this is going to be a long, hard fight. We're up against Hyatt Corporation that wants to be able to hold this over its workers. We're up against the health insurance industry. We're up against the pharmaceutical industry. That's going to be a long, hard fight. We know it's going to be hard, and we just keep working at it.
I don't think we lost the battle. I think that I think the Obama was pretty deft in a lot of ways of getting what we got. As much as we would have liked more, it was kind of as a step forward, I think. And what's our next step? What do we demand? What do we ask for? Do we participate in elections? What's your take on this?
I don't want to discuss elections, but whether we should participate or not. But I do want to say everybody needs to be involved in working. You can work with Unite here with these workers who are fighting one major corporation and doing it with courage and success. You can join in the single payer movement. This is all the same fight, and what we have to do is everybody takes look at where you are and you take one step in the right direction, and that's how we'll get there.
Are there any things going on around the country that give you some hope, that are examples of moving forward?
Well, there are movements in some states to make single-payer health care illegal. So we consider that a step forward because that means that they know that single-payer is
on its way.
On its way. They're scared of it. So, and that just gives us another rallying point to work for it.
What states are those?
I don't want to say. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Are there states that are moving towards single payer?
Absolutely. There are many states, I think more than 20, that have single-payer bills in their state legislatures, including Illinois. So that's one way to work for it, although ultimately, of course, we need single-payer health care for the whole country, which is H.R. 676, the Expanded and Improved Medicare for All bill, sponsored by John Conyers of Michigan.
John, always a good ally. All right. Where you want to look at for more information to help and assist the workers of the Hyatt Union 450, Unite Here, and Scheetz, and that is spelled ANNESCHEET.